and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. We have some interesting titles on the group exhibition showcased on this week's episode. From the Kokopelli Gallery, to Affinity Gallery, and the National Museum, all in Lagos. Get the details when Art House returns in a moment. Do stay with us.
There is no problem in this world that cannot be solved.
Wonders shall never end. That's what this group exhibition at the Kokopelli Gallery has been called, as artists display an array of pieces. Take a look.
Not all those who wander are lost. That has been made quite clear on the signage on the Kokopelli Gallery in Lagos. The title of the exhibition itself, Wonders Shall Never End, is sure to catch anyone's eye.
From the title, you can tell that it is about journey. It's about a journey, and in life, there are different types of journeys. Do you understand? So this is exhibition about their own artistic journey, what they've experienced during this journey. Yeah. So this is what they are documenting through these pieces. So if you take a good look at the pieces, you can see that each of them tells about their travel experiences, their artistic journal, and what they've experienced through their lives as an artist. So that's what the exhibition is about.
Ronke Komos, Jonathan Chamberlain, Tochukwu Orazulike, and Damilare Jamiu bring their individual experiences to bear in this show, with pieces that capture their interesting journeys.
And it speaks on how people wander through life. You know, as in life, you have to find to see. If you seek, you find. In a way. Yeah. So how I'm responding to this is that, with this work. So the first work is titled "These Hands Kept Me Steady." And if you look at the work, in the description of the work, the character has a cross on his back with two hands on either side. And both hands actually, on one hand, you would see the hand behind is the hand that keeps you grounded. So if you check inside of the work, you would see little collages, you see things like fulfillment, things like good or rare, which is good friend. You see things like, if you're a Christian, maybe Jesus, just a lot of jumbles of words. And these things keep you grounded because on some hard days, when you're trying to give up and you just realize that, okay, maybe you call family and they make you realize who you are, where you have been, the qualifications you have, you return back to yourself, and it keeps you grounded,
This is a community, and we are new here, and we realize that there is gold or there is crude oil on the ground. What we understand is, once we raise alarm about it, like letting other people know that there is gold or crude oil on this ground, give it 6 months, there's possibility of it turning to wasteland. So you see the eagerness from people to milk as much as possible as they want. And whatever you get out of it, they don't return it back to the same community to build it. They just go away with it. So milking the earth is more like us, not thinking of management and conservation. We just go deep down to milking as much as we can, not thinking of the repercussions or the aftermath of our own activities here on earth. So this is what this work is talking about. I have also one of this other title, The Reapers. Just more like we do to each other. We don't mind taking our own lives just to get what we want. So imagine if we can do that to ourselves. What about Earth itself?
Well, these artists are contemporary artists. These artists they have like a vision in the art industry. So I picked artists they are telling stories that most people cannot even know that yes, their stories are what they can resonate with. Do you understand? Okay, so it's about this contemporary life, and I can see that they have a vision and they have a future for us. So picking this artist for me was a very daunting task, because some of them don't actually. At these days, everybody's trying to document their own style, own perspective. So their own works actually resonate with what I was trying to document as an expression. Yeah, so that's why I picked this art.
The artist narrates the inspiration behind some of their pieces and the adventure stories.
My work deals on surrealism. I love illusionist stuff, and I kind of create surreal images, but based on reality. I am a lover of earth, nature, trees, and all that. So I try to paint the relationship between man and natural resources in my work. So over the time, just like this vision says, one that shall never end, you notice that man's relationship with natural resources is a wonder that can't end over the time. So it's something that is continuous over the time, and natural resources is important for us, quite sure, but I'm trying to paint that awareness where people will understand, despite how you're dealing with your natural resources, also take care of the environment. Make sure that you don't mess up your environment. Make sure that you also understand nature itself. Make sure that you don't ruin your environment. That's one of the most important things, because if Earth is sick, we are sick. So that's what my work is all about.
Very contemporary. Their works you can easily resonate with them looking at their works, just like this work. This work here, Wunke Kumos documents our lives. She's an artist. She's a female, so she went to Kenya and she was there for a while. So from my experiences in Kenya, she drew inspiration from there. So these works are documenting our experiences in Kenya. This is titled Sawa Bana, titled It's Okay Body, and this is titled China Chenka, that is we laugh together. Yeah, so that work there is from Damilare Jamil, the Allergy of Memories. So looking at these pieces together, that each of them are documenting their own personal experiences here and their exploration through the art world.
It's very interesting to see how they could come up with these pieces, with these stories. And for instance, let's look at the works of Damilare Jamil. He's telling stories about the blacks, Africans who were exported out of the country for slavery and the likes, and he was talking about how, the culture of the Western world, how they have imbibed it, and you can see it in their appearance, the fashion, the way they talk, what they wear, how they think, so it's basically telling stories of how that transition has changed them. And that's the power of movement, power of traveling and all of that.
This visual diary, which documents people, tradition, landscapes and more, show that the world is your oyster.
Now we move to Affinity Gallery, still in Lagos, to see artists dive into the beauty of deeper connections in communal bond.
The interwoven narratives that define a collective human experience. That's what Communal Bond, a group exhibition at the Affinity Gallery in Lagos, explores.
We have some conceptual works, which are really beautiful. Reminds me a lot of the School for Nsukka. And this is actually another African artist. But I think for me, it's just the way he's put the exhibition together just shows the variety of the kind of art that we have locally and regionally. I know some of the artists from a few years ago, and also to see them develop is also wonderful. I think this is what galleries do. They kind of work with the artists to really kind of bring them up and show their work. So I think Affinity have done a fantastic job of this really showcasing artists, sort of young, kind of mid-career artists. So wonderful, beautiful exhibition.
The profound contemplation showcases the diverse artistic expressions of 5 contemporary artists and delves into the deeper connections that bind people across cultural and existential boundaries.
The amazing work so far has been, mind-blowing. Just seeing the fact that it's filled with color, it's filled with a lot of inspiring objects. I'm a real big fan of some of the artists here, so their works are very, very amazing, yeah.
The selected pieces, ranging from lace, paintings to tapestry, are united by their profound narrative depth and ability to communicate complex, often unspoken truths about human connection and cultural identity.
When I went around, I found out that especially the young artists, they are growing in the spirit of liberation. They are so liberated. They are not really boxed into a corner. You could see this work, then I look at the other works around it, you find that there's a bit of dynamism. Nobody is following another person compared to what we used to see, because before everybody was boxed into corner. You must paint like Auchi, you paint like Yabatek, but there's a little bit of dynamism now, like a liberated spirit, a liberated soul. People are speaking their language, people are doing their arts, like the same way you hear a fella music, tarana, ask who is the musician. So there's a signature beyond the signature. That means the artist is being themselves. So it's very interesting.
For the gallery, each artist brings a unique perspective that, when viewed together, creates a compelling tapestry of interconnected stories.
I particularly love Mufulusha's paintings downstairs. I love the expressions that she's using. I also love Nana's Zone that I'm standing in front of. It's colorful. I feel like it's something that would give you something to ponder on. The creativity, the usage of colors. I think they're quite good pieces.
I've been working with a lot of artists who are very, unique, and they've been into, the deep side of African art. That has been very, very interesting to see. I mean, whenever they put a flyer on their page talking about exhibitions, I'm always excited to be, part of it, just to see, unique works from African artists. And for me, that's like one of the good things that I think they've been doing, and that's been really, really helping young artists and promoting a lot of, interesting look based on what's artists in Nigeria, and building that platform. They've grown so far, and they've done so much into the arts community that has been recognized in so many marvelous ways that everyone want to be just come here and see the good things they're doing. So yeah, for me they've been remarkable.
These works of art is an invitation to viewers to ponder the strength found in unity, intricate dance of tradition and personal identity.
For us, the issue of partnerships is key. We want to develop the industry in a way that will really bring this economic expansion, cultural expansion, job creation. There's a huge real estate in creative industry that has been up until now untapped. So, we have come up with a fantastic strategic framework that I think will really be able to give Nigeria the proper deliverables that is abound within that industry. And we know in order to do that, we have to have strategic partnerships. This is one of the key drivers of our 8-point agenda, and this is what I spoke to the room of conglomerates and private sector investors about today. I'm looking to see how we can partner with them to really move the industry forward, to really bring the growth that, you know, is abound within this industry. There's a huge amount of value that we can add to Nigeria as a whole, and a huge young demographic that has a lot of creativity and culture that they want to have an enabling environment. And this enabling environment is what we are looking to provide by working together with the private enterprises in order to deliver the infrastructure, the policy, some of the main programs and some of the initiatives that we're hoping to enact within the next couple of months.
And these are the works of art you sent in recently. Let's begin with The Potter by Habib Mustafa. It's done with pastel on chipboard. Then Inavora Pius has Father, Father from Dear Father series, done with acrylic on canvas. Timothy Olaleko Pupola has Tribe to Motherhood, is a gouache and paper work. In Confidence, the second in the series, is an oil and ink and digital on textured paper work by Tomiwa Adilagun. Black African Lady is an oil and canvas work done by Oscar Tembam. He said the African woman is a queen. Then Through the Storm is a mixed media work by Gallery Ogiri. Inner Nature is Femi Afolabi's acrylic on canvas piece. While The Sun Shall Not Smite Thee by Day, coming from Psalm 121, is an acrylic on canvas work by Theo Olaiton. Then we wrap things up with Hidden Treasure, an oil on canvas work by Chiedu Eze. And that concludes the works of art you sent in recently. We really appreciate you for sending them in and encourage you to keep them coming. Nigerian Voices Against Slave Trade is an exhibition at the National Museum in Lagos.
Local Voices Against Slavery is an exhibition held at the National Museum in Lagos, which is based on an intensive research by the University College London.
At UCL, we have a research project to study local voices against slavery in Africa. So if you read history books, you read about Europeans fighting against slavery in Nigeria and Africa as well. There's very little coverage or very little research on local Africans, in this case local Nigerians, that fought against slavery.
Those Africans who fought against this menace are being highlighted in this show.
So the abolition of slave trade did not end slavery. Slavery basically continued in different cultures, but there were local people that rose up and started fighting against this. But it's not properly covered in history books. So the point of the research is to research some of these individuals, research their ideas, their network. So the exhibition is just putting out some of the outcome of the research in Nigeria.
It may be an obsolete practice now, but for the team, slavery still rears its ugly head in different heinous forms and practices.
Some children that have been trafficked, traffickers tell them not to inform their parents. And anything that anybody is doing that have been asked to tell the third party is evil, is understood. So why we are here is to lend our voice as an agency with that of AFRAB to the general public that human trafficking is evil, is a crime against humanity, is a sin against God.
A lot of Nigerians think that slavery is a thing of the past, but it's not. There's still slavery going on around us. There's modern slavery. And so looking at the way it was, the effect then, and sitting around the table and discussing the modern day shackles, the modern day leg chains, and how we are being pulled in different directions for exploitation.
The message from this exhibition is not cast in stone. It can be absorbed by the viewer based on cultural and historical perspectives and understanding, just like any work of art.
I'm sending the message of equality, the message about the will and purpose of God for humanity, which is equality, freedom, and love. I'm focusing on the Osuke system in Igbo land, the Osu and the Ogo. The discrimination is repugnant to nature and shouldn't be mentioned or practiced.
I think different people take away different things. So it will depend on your culture, so what you already know in terms of the history that you have. So somebody from, I don't know, Kano could take something different from, I don't know, somebody from Enugu or even from Ibadan. So you're bringing your own history and your understanding of things. So when you absorb all this information, you take, it's like poetry. So if you read a poem and I read a poem, we see two different things. So the idea is just to showcase the output so that people can come and engage. I don't want to impose what they should take away from this.
We are looking towards building a peaceful Nigeria, a future where Nigeria will be free from slavery, because everybody has to come out to fight slavery from his or her own different dimension. As of me, I'm also an abolitionist for abolition of against the practice of caste system in southeastern Nigeria.
Besides this exhibition, there were workshops for students, teachers and community stakeholders featuring historians, archivists and academics from the University College, London.
We have more exhibitions from other states when Art House returns next time.
On Art House next week. August Vistas, a group exhibition by the Society of Nigerian Artists in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Undiscovered, a group exhibition by artists at the 4th Pyramid Art Center in Benin, Edo State. Then we enjoyed the Lagos edition of the celebration of International Day of World's Indigenous People. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever-bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's how we draw the curtain on this episode of the program. We appreciate you for being with us and look forward to interacting with you on our various social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Have a lovely day.